Archangel Michael says, I broke a sacred rule of heaven just to get this message to you right now. Your angels are holding their breath, so don't you dare skip this. You honestly do not realize what you almost overlooked. A divine presence has been searching for you, speaking your name late in the evening. While you rested deeply and all else was still, your heart at last calmed sufficiently to hear heaven's softest call. Archangel Michael's profound concern for you has resembled a protector who cares passionately, struggles ceaselessly, and now mourns profoundly. Yesterday evening, he uttered your name. He wept not due to weakness, but because he understood what was about to unfold. He realizes you will not perceive until it is past time. Do not skip this once more. Kindly take a brief pause now. Type amen in the comments right now. If this message stirs you, or if you sense that this is not an accident, not for me, but to inform heaven that you are present, that you are heeding, and that you are prepared to receive what is being directed toward you. Do not depart from me yet. This is merely the beginning. It has already required hours to reach you. You will not be able to state, no one alerted me if you do not perceive this. Beloved one, there is an odd occurrence happening behind you. Something is unfolding that you cannot even sense yet. Matters are beginning to shift, but heaven does. It is Archangel Michael. God has been carefully observing the energy shifts unfolding. Archangel Michael begged to convey what he understood, and that was all. God granted him one additional opportunity. This message right now, he was granted one additional opportunity. He stated, merely one. That is the cause you are present. This is why you sense your heart is tugging in an odd manner, akin to an alarm softly sounding. Do not let it go past. Not at this moment. Not similar to the other cautions. This particular one, it concerns you. What you are on the verge of hearing could keep your name, your tomorrow, and something you prayed for secure. Yesterday evening, Archangel Michael stood before the gates of heaven, but this occasion he was not holding a sword. He was weeping. He has never appeared so frightened. Even the angels who typically guard him were silent. They are not heeding, he stated. They have no clue what is about to unfold. I cannot shield them if they skip once more. In his compassion, God stated, then proceed to speak now. Beloved, you do not grasp the gravity of this. It does not concern being frightened. It is related to being prepared. It is due to someone, an individual you are acquainted with, performing something behind you. Matters are about to alter in your dwelling. A decision is being formed. A decision is being formed behind closed doors. If you do not heed now, Archangel Michael states, you will not learn the truth until it is past time. They have strived diligently to conceal this from you. This name, this truth, and this unexpected turn, but God observed it. You are being requested to discover it now before it ruins something holy in your existence. The individual who appears ordinary around you is not whom you imagine them to be. Beneath that grin is a falsehood. Archangel Michael has observed what will unfold if you do not act quickly. This message is not merely being displayed to you. There was a divine plan for this to unfold, a hidden disclosure, and a point in time you were not meant to witness until today. Do not trifle with it. Certain truths cannot be altered once they have been postponed. This is one of them. Archangel Michael wept, because you do not heed the minor matters, the odd shivers, the vivid dreams, the individuals who arrive to visit you at 300 a.m. That is not an error. That is not something you invented. That is heaven's method of managing urgent situations. For those who have endured excessively, it is how they reach the individuals they cherish the most. That is why Archangel Michael continues returning. You have experienced sufficient suffering. God has observed enough. You must opt to listen to this now, however. This message does not arrive in an alternative guise. You do not receive another opportunity. We have selected you to obtain it initially. Before something alters swiftly, since you are still present in the spirit world, time is expiring. There was an actual countdown, It was observed by Archangel Michael. Matters are culminating towards something significant, a massive revelation that will transform your existence, your dwelling, and a vital connection. Someone you truly trusted is being subjected to examination, and the moment is nearly past. It was so near that Archangel Michael violated the regulations and wept before all the other angels. That is not something he performs. It was not a sword fight this occasion, however. It was a struggle to gain your notice. Because if you skip this, the miracle intended for you will be bestowed upon another. You will be perplexed as to why you approach so near, but never receive. It was never intended for you to discover this today, yet here you are. There is no coincidence in that. That is Archangel Michael altering the path of time to lead you present. He is currently murmuring through this message. Do not skip this, not once more. Beloved, miracles are occasionally attempting to withhold something from you, from someone you cherish deeply. That is not due to a desire to harm you, but because they do not wish to lose you. Nevertheless, heaven becomes more engaged the longer they delay. Your destiny is determined right now. Right now is a portion of your test. What you perform in reaction to this message will establish the atmosphere for the subsequent 7 days. Beloved, miracles are conscious. They await for a brief period. They tap once or twice, and then they are dispatched elsewhere. You are at that brink, Archangel Michael cautions. That fine boundary between attaining everything and watching it transfer to another. This occasion, kindly do not remain motionless. Your angels are generating a sound. Heaven is informing you right now that something is amiss because your spirit recognizes it. It is not apprehension that is causing your abdomen to contort and your pulse to quicken. There is spiritual urgency in that. You have been present previously, but not in this manner. There is a deadline this occasion. If it surfaces too late this occasion, the truth is perilous. You wish you could observe what Archangel Michael sees. You would fall to your knees, not from dread, but because you would be so conscious of what has been happening behind you for merely a moment. The prayers that nearly ascended to heaven, the tears that God collected from your pillow. Now arrives the difficult segment. The stealthy assaults that never harmed you because Archangel Michael halted them while you rested. And now arrives the final and most difficult segment. You must resolve for him. You must resolve for him. Choose to listen. Choose to trust. Choose to deem that this message was not transmitted by accident. What you reveal next will alter your entire narrative if you perform that. So, beloved, you are yet perusing. In this instance, your soul comprehends something your mind does not yet, merely a small amount of your focus. A tiny opening in your heart was all heaven required to convey the message that Archangel Michael has been bearing for days. He has been tracking your name, shielding your path, and preventing something detrimental from reaching you. However, the boundary is becoming narrower now. There is a fresh decision. And if you do not heed this now, the guard he placed around your existence might crumble. He cannot sustain it independently any longer. This is what Archangel Michael states. There is a confidential discussion occurring behind closed doors concerning you. Even more concerning, those individuals are not unfamiliar. They are individuals you recognize and have chuckled, exchanged recollections, and placed significant reliance upon. However, what they utter is not untainted. Their statements are not vacant. It is them formulating schemes for your tomorrow without your awareness of it. In the spirit, Archangel Michael has been attempting to halt it. That being stated, heaven can only advance so much without you. That is why this message was dispatched, not to frighten you, but to arouse you. Something I cannot clarify because your name is being spoken by individuals who ought not to be. You ought to comprehend why. Right now, a miracle is circulating around you. Something potent, something I cannot clarify. It appears as a straightforward opportunity, an encounter, a link, or an abrupt alteration of intentions. That is not everything. Archangel Michael states it is a reaction to a prayer you uttered mentally when you were at your lowest point. When it appeared as though nothing was succeeding and no one was paying heed, you did not believe anyone in heaven listened to it, but God did. He also ensured that your petition arrived at the opportune moment. Now is the opportune moment. Today, however, you need to maintain vigilance as you proceed, because it will not arrive with a prominent notification from externally. It will appear well until you enter. Subsequently, everything will feel divinely different. But here is the peril. Concurrently, there is also a diversion, an enticing item, a test, something that is intended to hinder you from entering the miracle that has been purposed just for you. Thus, this message needs to be dispatched immediately. You could forfeit your pledge or, even more critically, be delayed on it by months if you do not react appropriately to what is approaching. That is not what heaven desires. That is not what Archangel Michael desires. You can select, though. This is the juncture where heeding transforms into participating. Write "I receive" in the comments. If you are not going to disregard this, postpone it or avert your gaze once more. That single assertion is more than merely utterances. You consent to it. It is aligned. Heaven is already progressing towards you, and all you need to do is affirm yes. Regulations of the spirit world operate in that manner. You possess free will which God granted you. Right now, that free will is either permitting something entrance or preventing its entry. Kindly pay careful heed. Someone is on the verge of speaking with you. According to Archangel Michael, something kindly pay careful heed. Something, a phrase that does not appear insignificant. It will be a confirmation of this message. When you listen to it, you will recognize it. It will feel amiss, as though you have been present previously. Do not let it go past. Do not disregard it because it signifies that everything is arranged for your subsequent major breakthrough. Do not flee, conceal yourself, or behave as though this is not occurring. Do not conceal this message as you did the prior one. Heaven observed that and overlooked it. However, this occasion they are truly paying heed. This aperture will not remain open for an extended period. And as you prepare for this breakthrough, sharing this prophetic word with your network will activate the anointing and share that breakthrough with them. There is also an individual who emotionally or physically departed from you a considerable time ago. They might be living currently or observing from aloft. You have been receiving a communication, however. Archangel Michael states it must be accomplished immediately. They require you to comprehend the truth. They did not utter that when they were near you, something they feel remorseful about concealing. It is now that they pleaded with God to allow you to listen to it. A portion of their entreaty is this message. Pay careful heed to the prompts you receive in the subsequent 24 hours. It will murmur within the melodies. Names emerge unexpectedly, overly vivid dreams. There is no coincidence in them. They are ciphers. They also possess the key to the subsequent miracle. We did not overlook you, not abandoned, and certainly not hexed. You were designated, chosen, cherished. You were designated indeed. Even though it did not appear so, even the evenings when you wept so intensely you could not utter and inquired of God, "Are you truly real?" That was also listened to by Archangel Michael. He replied in a murmur, "But your sorrow was too audible. It is not your failing. God in heaven comprehends it. However, now your heart is less hardened. The casing is fractured. That was all they required. The casing is fractured, and I wish you to comprehend something about that instant. It is the most sacred occurrence that can befall a human heart. Not the triumphs, not the prominent breakthroughs, but the instant when the barrier at last descends and heaven can enter. This service was constructed for that instant, for the individual whose heart just fractured sufficiently to allow a single word passage. If these utterances have been that word for you, today kindly consider backing this endeavor through the link in the description and pinned comment. What you offer attains the subsequent individual who is sitting solitary right now, weeping too intensely to utter, awaiting something to discover them. They could enter and mend what was fractured with merely a single opening, not merely externally, but also internally. The kind of suffering you did not mention anything about, the sort that you concealed beneath grins. If you permit it, that restoration can commence now. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. You must perform one action, however. Take one stride, one courageous act. You need to release the matter that continually resurfaces in your thoughts, the error, the fractured heart, the opportunity that was forfeited, the individual who selected someone else. It is still upon your shoulders, and it is occupying excessive space where your miracle ought to be. Relinquish it. It is not because they merit it, but because you do. You merit tranquility. Exist in complete joy, and it has been awaiting you after you release. Archangel Michael is prepared to shield you as you advance. However, you must move initially. His wings are extended. He has his sword out. You must inform him. Yes, I am prepared. All right, you remained. That informs heaven of everything it needs to comprehend, because the truth is that this message was not intended for all. Some individuals might not be capable of listening to it spiritually. You did remain, however. Now, Archangel Michael is drawing nearer and is prepared to display what has been concealed from sight. There will be a massive alteration in your existence that would be excessive for you to manage simultaneously. That is why God is assembling it gradually, one segment at a time. That being stated, the crucial element that unlocks all the blessings is within you. The crucial element, the confirmation of that is this message. Now is the moment to proceed. If you sense that this message is not a singular occurrence, but a portion of a long-term alignment, then understand that subscribing right now will activate God's prophetic promise and alignment in your life. Registering is not about receiving alerts. It is about preparing to remain in the current of the prophetic. You select steadfastness over opportunity when you subscribe, and you remain synchronized with how heaven is operating in your existence stage by stage. You cannot comprehend why matters nearly succeed and then unravel, why some individuals approach near and then depart, why triumph appears and then vanishes. It is not a malediction, it maintains your security. Certain portals in heaven did not open because what resided on the opposite side would have impeded your destiny. That occupation, that individual. In that instance, the reply was not no. Transitioning was what it was. Archangel Michael states the delay has concluded. Now, though in heaven, the approval has been granted, but there is a single stipulation. Before you can observe the evidence, you must depart. That is the test of faith. Most individuals skip that portion. Do not skip it. Individuals are addressing you by name in locations you have not yet visited. God is placing individuals on your route who desire to assist you. Even though they do not comprehend your entire narrative, they are attracted to your name and energy. There is divine orchestration present. Angels are murmuring your name into the core of the appropriate individuals, which is what they perform optimally. You must ready your mind, sentiments, and spirit for the miracle to unfold. Cleanse the space for what you prayed for. Do not merely hope, prepare. That deed of faith informs heaven. I believe it is about to unfold. It arrives more swiftly than you deemed feasible if you behave as though it is already yours. Furthermore, someone is maintaining careful observation of you. Someone you might not even recognize. They have observed you grow more resilient, greater, and endure difficult periods. It has affected them. That is, they have been silent and awaiting. The moment arrived. Heaven states that this individual desires to convey something to you, but they are frightened not of you, but of the intensity of their sentiments due to your impact in their existences. Archangel Michael asserts they are undergoing a spiritual awakening, and there will be a conversation soon, possibly by transmitting a message, perhaps face to face, but everything will alter. Do not be frightened. Heed, this individual is a segment of your fortunate day. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Let us discuss when to perform actions. Time is not what you perceive it to be, states Archangel Michael. Time is distorted in the spiritual realm, and you, beloved, are on the verge of undergoing something that heaven labels accelerated alignment. That signifies that something that ought to have required years will unfold in merely a few days. You need to be prepared to advance, however, when the indication appears. It is going to feel unfavorable, not anticipated, akin to an abrupt alteration of intentions. Do not attempt to resist it. Disregard it. You are being guided by Archangel Michael. He will clear the path for you as you proceed. You will overlook it if you await for everything to become clear. You must be courageous to observe this miracle. Archangel Michael also observed something when you were a youngster, a period you overlooked, an utterance that pained you, a conviction that gradually established itself in your core. Perhaps I am not enough. You do not comprehend how significantly that falsehood has altered your existence. You are fearful of voicing your opinion when you ought to have. It caused you to tolerate matters when you ought to have departed. Today is the final day that falsehood is permitted to reside within you, states Archangel Michael. Heaven is transforming who you are. You are not injured. You are not lagging. We have not overlooked you. You have been selected. It is secure for you. You were dispatched solely for this instant. Archangel Michael wept. Not because you are faltering, but because you are drawing nearer and nearer. Nevertheless, the adversary has been attempting to divert your focus from the instant by presenting you with minor difficulties, negative musings, and futile disputes. Do not succumb to it. Pay heed. Maintain your energy secure. You do not need to respond to all of them. You do not need to disclose everything about yourself to everyone. God observes your core. They require your focus right now. Your destiny is merely beyond the entrance. It is as simple as unlatching it. Right now, there is a miracle in your existence that appears as a challenge. Indeed, concealed. You prayed for lucidity, but instead something became more intricate. That is not an error. It is an arrangement. It appears as a disarray, but Archangel Michael states it is merely the earth trembling to create space for something novel. Do not attempt to control it. Trust it. Certain tempests do not arrive to devastate. They appear to clear the path. Furthermore, beloved, your path is being made evident right now. As you peruse this, it may not be evident to you yet, but you will shortly perceive that this was the instant when everything altered. Pay careful heed, because Archangel Michael is on the verge of stating something that heaven does not typically allow individuals to comprehend. Something bearing your name is being examined spiritually and physically. It could be an agreement, a document, or something different. This is acceptable. Excellent. It alters your tomorrow too. There was a postponement, but it is currently being remedied. A decision will be formed that aids you. But once more, your energy needs to correspond with what you desire to unfold. Maintain your faith. Remain in the correct location. Speak about existence, because the matters you utter assist heaven in concluding what your prayers initiated. As the angels draw nearer, Archangel Michael stands over your existence with a divine order. They are prepared to be executed. He awaits, however, not because he is uncertain. It is not because he is frail, but because the reply, yes, is more potent than you imagine. When you are in the spirit world, compliance is the crucial element to divine war. There is an individual on your spiritual team awaiting for you to state, I trust, I receive, because heaven will act. As soon as you perform, as soon as you trust, the atmosphere alters and the matter that has been postponed, deferred, or dispatched in the incorrect course will surge in like flood water rupturing through a dam. But only if you remain there, just as long as you are receptive. If you do not skip this, that is, there will be a twist that no one observed approaching. It will not be comprehensible when it unfolds. According to Archangel Michael, it could even be somewhat frightening. But do not let your human gaze deceive you. It is not an issue. It alters matters, and the adversary frequently transmits bewilderment right before a major alteration. You will commence to question the individuals you value. Matters you once felt certain about will grow less evident to you. You could even sense solitude. Nevertheless, this is not a departure. Indeed, it is activation. Archangel Michael is removing the clamor from your existence so you can listen to the authentic message. God is not silent. He selects and decides. You ought to remain near because he is on the verge of informing you what to perform subsequently. Heed closely. Due to your compliance, something significant had to be rescinded. You had no clue. But Archangel Michael states that both a spiritual and a physical snare was laid. A falsehood was beginning to devise a scheme, and your name was included in it. However, heaven altered the scheme because you were modest, pardoned someone who did not merit it, and uttered affection instead of animosity when you could have erupted. You honestly have no clue how near that assault approached. God grinned as Archangel Michael halted it. Now you are not only secure, but you are also being recompensed. You are being written a divine reversal in your favor. What the adversary intended to inflict damage is currently being transformed into a testimony that will astonish you. Your adversaries will not comprehend what to perform. They will be perplexed as to why their schemes did not succeed. They will be perplexed as to why you persist in rising. It is not fortune, however. It is not an error. It is a divine covering. Archangel Michael has been instructed to journey with you for 21 days, drawing nearer each day, and something will rupture in those 21 days. A trend apprehension, something that has occurred repeatedly in your existence. Your exertion will not fracture it. Your capitulation will. The alteration will impact you. It will become less heavy. There will be no further conflict. That being stated, it all commences with your faith. And as an act of faith, type Amen in the comments if your faith is expanding right now. Regardless of how tiny or feeble it is, heaven does not require you to be flawless. It reacts to your willingness. That utterance ought to cause you to concur with what God is performing behind the curtains. You are not inventing the tug you sense now. That is the hand of God upon your shoulder. The most holy portion of the message is now present. Archangel Michael pleaded with God to allow you to listen to it. There is an individual whose name continually returns to you. You have attempted to overlook them. You have attempted to proceed. You have prayed, wept, and pleaded for a lucid image, but the connection between you and this individual is not customary in a spiritual way. Archangel Michael has been displayed by heaven how you will link. There is a spiritual link that heaven is nurturing right now. And I wish to utter something regarding that. The most agonizing affections are the ones that were genuine, the links that remained with you even when they held no rational meaning. Heaven does not overlook those, and neither does this service. These communications exist to attain individuals amidst those unfeasible locations, the ones where no human counsel is sufficient and only heaven comprehends the entire narrative. If this message has communicated to something you bear in that manner, kindly visit the link in the description and pin comment. Your benevolence assists this in reaching the other individual in someone else's narrative who also requires to listen to the summons. The affection is genuine, but it has not been right now. One of you is still recuperating. Still concealed was the other one. But now there is an opportunity for a divine reconciliation, not a pledge, but feasible. And both of you require to listen to the summons for it to operate in melodies, dreams, and signs. Archangel Michael has uttered to both of you. Shortly, one of you will extend contact. Do not decline it immediately. Pay heed, sense, select, and decide, because this could be the discussion that remedies everything. The discussion that restores everything to correctness once more. Archangel Michael states that within the subsequent 72 hours, you will ascertain for certain if this is truly for you. Only you ascertain for certain if it is perhaps a communication. It could be a dream. It could be an aged image that slips from a compartment. Pay heed, because this instant could alter your entire romantic existence if you respect it based on divine purpose, not on antiquated routines. You were never intended to accept affection that merely sustains you. Sacred love is what God desires for you. Affection that improves. Affection that endures, but the truth proceeds in exchange for pardon. Heaven has already commenced drafting a discussion regarding this. Are you prepared? As this holy message approaches its conclusion, there is one additional truth that needs to be conveyed more plainly than ever. You are not behind on your timeline. You are yet not too distant. You are not so fractured that it cannot be mended. That voice in your mind that states you overlooked it, bungled it, or forfeited your opportunity is not God. That is a disgrace. Disgrace also deceives. There are no human timepieces in heaven. It operates on divine time. Your moment is now, states Archangel Michael. It was not without purpose that we wept, forfeited, and had to await. This was readiness. Everything commences to advance after you have heeded, remained, and received. Here is what heaven desires from you. Utter this aloud today, even if you merely murmur it. I obtain what is intended for me. My apprehensions are yielded. I proceed directly into my miracle. I trust that heaven comprehends merely what I require. An angel departs when you state that. Archangel Michael takes charge. Portals commence to open. It transitions from being a caution to being your breakthrough in the message you just obtained. Now, as the spiritual atmosphere above you expands, Archangel Michael remains motionless. His gaze is both intense and benevolent, as if they desire to shield you, because he comprehends what is about to unfold. It was observed by him. He has already traversed that route. He has laid snares, exposed deceivers as dishonest, rerouted suffering, and even halted time to grant you a head start, which is something God only performs very seldom. You yet do not comprehend if you are cherished, if you are significant, beloved. This entire message and this entire instant was purposed solely for you, not a multitude of individuals, not most individuals. You. God comprehended that you were prepared to listen to what other individuals yet do not desire to listen to. That is what Archangel Michael states. You are now being confided with something holy because your spirit remained receptive, a confidential matter from heaven that almost no one will ever discover. That is what Archangel Michael states. Listen with all of your core, not merely your auditory organs. They are on the verge of discovering the truth concerning you. When they perform, the individuals who mocked you will murmur your name with reverence. It has been years since you have been spiritually hidden, not because you were frail, but because you were being constructed. The veil is currently being removed. You are on the verge of being displayed. Your illumination, your aim, and your utterance are on the verge of being evident to all. Individuals who conversed about you behind you, uttered falsehoods, and stated you would never succeed will observe heaven perform something in your existence that no one could halt. Now is no longer the period of postponement. You are on the verge of proceeding into something that was fashioned solely for you, but for the subsequent stage, you need to be a portion. Let us convey the truth. You have been bearing individuals who were never intended to be in this segment. You already comprehend it. They cause you to feel unfavorable. They utter matters that harm your dreams. No one is concerned with your development, but you remain because you feel culpable, because of the history, and because you are solitary. That is all Archangel Michael has to state. The moment has arrived. Sever the bond with affection. Disassociate. They will contaminate your miracle from within. If you bring them with you into the subsequent step, heaven has already displayed to them what is in their core. You observed it. You could sense it. You merely did not desire to state it. However, now is not the moment to be sentimental. Now is the moment to execute thoroughly, and what will return is restoration. You are about to enter your divine future, but remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall, share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now, join the family, and see your heavens open, not merely recovering what you forfeited. Not in the slightest. Something superior, more significant, not anticipated. The manner God performs matters will astonish you. He mends you. It will appear as acts of grace some of the time. Some of it will appear as funds that merely manifest. Some of it will appear as individuals returning and apologizing. But you will be the one who obtains the most exquisite restoration. Tranquility that does not vanish. Certainty in yourself that does not diminish. Delight that does not originate from external origins. Shortly you will awaken and comprehend, I am no longer fearful. I am finally complete once more. And beloved, no one or nothing will be able to affect you. When you sense that way, there is one additional matter that Archangel Michael needs to state. Something holy. You need to listen to this now, even though you will not fully comprehend it yet. Relocating is about to unfold. Indeed, the tangible world, your dwelling, your locality, your occupation, the world surrounding you is on the verge of altering in some manner. Not for disorder, but to arrange matters. Heaven comprehends where you reside, who is close to you, and what sort of energy is present, and they have determined it is no longer sufficient. Your vocation ought to manifest in your area. Due to this, you will shortly be displayed how to enact an alteration, a relocation. Alteration, a relocation. Alteration, it could unfold swiftly. Do not resist it even if it renders you frightened. God is relocating you to maintain what He is on the verge of granting you secure. You do not construct palaces on terrain that is not firm, and your groundwork is being reinforced. As the subsequent 7 days pass, pay careful heed to what merely detaches. That is divine taking away. When God removes something, it always pains initially and becomes clear eventually. Relinquish it. The companionship that ceases, the opportunity that slips away. The individual who departs, it is not being rejected. It concerns placement. You requested tranquility, development, and guidance. It appears like this. Trust in the trimming because ascending comes after being pruned. You will recall this instant when your miracle actualizes, which it will. This tranquil location, only your utterances and those of Archangel Michael. When you turn around, you will observe that heaven was vigilant. God did listen. They truly did maintain your security when no one else could observe what was occurring. You will be in a novel location with a complete core and state to yourself. Now I comprehend why I had to await. Since the subsequent portion will be valuable now, beloved, state it with your spirit. I am prepared. I am not going to skip this. I trust in the moment. I am now proceeding with heaven. Affirm this instant before we advance any further. Write, I am prepared, in the comments if you are finished deferring matters, retreating or questioning what God has purposed for your existence. It does not concern exaggeration. It is related to positioning. And those who arrange themselves will observe matters that other individuals do not comprehend, that Archangel Michael is no longer weeping as you state those utterances. He is joyful. The sword fell, expansive wings observing you transform into the individual that heaven always comprehended to be. Something altered in the spirit. As soon as you stated, I am prepared, the portal opened. There was a postponement. Someone or something obscure that was observing you silently receded because you are now synchronized with God's timing. Archangel Michael does not need to struggle as intensely now that you have at last reached your destiny. Obtaining it correctly is not the central aim. It concerns being present also. Beloved, you are present, you accomplished it. You paid heed the entire period and heaven merely placed a blessing upon your name. However, now arrives the final portion, the arrival of miracles. Many individuals halt here right before it arrives since it becomes weighty, tranquil, feeling solitary, not evident. But Archangel Michael informs them, do not perform based on your sentiments this upcoming week. Proceed based on what you are instructed. You prayed for something to unfold, but it will not appear as you imagined it would. It might arrive adorned as obligation, akin to quietude. As an individual you did not anticipate, it might even appear as though you forfeited something. But persevere. Do not proceed immediately. God conclude the scene. The spiritual movie is concluded, but the narrative turn has not yet unfolded. Oh, it will astound you when it arrives. Certain script, a summons, an entrance. The 3 matters that alter. That is the 3 matters that will alter for you. 3 matters are being dispatched, states Archangel Michael. 1 will affirm yes, 1 will extend, 1 will actualize. You must be emotionally motionless, however, in order to receive them. The antagonist desires you to be fatigued, incensed, diverted, and restless. Do not allow him to possess what he desires. Do not stir, be vigilant, grasp firmly. You have already completed the arduous segments. The recompense is arriving next, but it can only descend in tranquil locations. The recompense can only descend in tranquil locations. That phrase merits remaining with you for an instant. Most individuals spend their entire existences pursuing what they desire, never comprehending that the pursuit itself is what maintains its distance. Heaven is requesting you to be motionless, and this service exists to be a portion of that quietude. A voice that discovers individuals amidst their clamor and assists them in decelerate sufficiently to listen to what God has been attempting to utter. If these utterances have brought you even an instant of that tranquility today, kindly consider contributing through the link in the description and pinned comment. You are not merely backing a channel. You are becoming a portion of someone else's tranquility when they require it most. Now, let us delve even further. Because heaven trusts you can listen to what most individuals cannot. Someone desires your anointing more than you do. They are not going to state it. They might even appear beneficial, but deep within they do not appreciate your illumination. They become frightened every time you take a stride forward. They comprehend deep within that you were chosen one. Archangel Michael is not informing you this to render you distrustful. He is informing you so that you can maintain your energy secure. Do not contend with them. Do not allow them to observe it. Merely elevate in quietude. These matters diminish as you ascend. This is not about settling scores. It is about achieving liberation. As they maintain observation of you, heaven is preparing to advance you so far ahead that they will not be able to overtake you. I now grant you your divine instruction. The 3 days that ensue are holy. They ought to be handled like holy ground. Arise early. Record how you sense. Be vigilant for indications, figures, dreams, individuals who extend contact without a motive. These are not merely arbitrary occurrences. They are the methods that God's will gets accomplished. Something will rupture on the 3rd day. Something you have been toiling on for months, and all at once you will sense it. It will feel as though the air is less heavy. It will feel distinct within. What is about to unfold will feel akin to it to you. Merely for 72 hours. Do not let dread deter you. Heaven will perform something that no individual could perform. Beloved ones, miracles adhere to a pattern. This is the pattern you are in right now. Attention, alignment, revelation, recompense. The caution has been dispatched to you. You select the arrangement. You are now in revelation. The recompense arrives next. That is the cause Archangel Michael wept. He informed you that not because you were faltering, but because he comprehended that if you could merely reach this juncture, everything else would align like divine dominoes. And now that you are present, nothing can halt what is about to unfold. Furthermore, this is where many individuals wander off right before they discover joy. Do not be one of those. You pledge to remain connected with the directives that shield your pledge when you subscribe. Being present is what maintains prophetic alignment operating, and it is also how you remain linked to what God is constructing next. Anticipate discussions that pained you in the past to assist you in recovering. Prepare to feel tranquil about matters you once worried about all at once. You ought to anticipate affection from an individual who has never been courageous enough to convey to you how they sense. You ought to anticipate portals to open in locations you were not invited. Ready yourself for astonishing events. Grace you cannot clarify. Shielding from observation. You have endured sufficient suffering to anticipate miracles. You have had to await sufficiently long. God now states, "Let there be recompense." That is correct. That is how it is. It senses like this when you possess grace. You now comprehend that grace is genuine. And as you comprehend this flow of grace, know that liking this video right now will activate the flow of God's favor in your life, even when it is not audible before his utterance becomes quiet once more. Archangel Michael informs you this final truth. This message was not discovered. You obtained this message. It discovered you merely as you were preparing to ascend. No one will comprehend how profound what you just obtained is. That is acceptable. They were not intended for this. This is what you heaven and the combatant who never ceased struggling for your tomorrow stated to each other. Archangel Michael, who was with you through your most obscure evenings and will be present for your most luminous ones, is here. Beloved, you ought to exist distinctly from now on. Pray with greater assurance. Sense more affection. Anticipate more. The world will shortly perceive that you are not the same individual you once were. Heaven is gazing downwards. Archangel Michael is advancing. Your fortunate day has arrived, and now it commences. And as you step into this new beginning, sharing this prophetic word will activate the anointing and share that breakthrough with your network. Before we attain the conclusion of this potent narrative, let us take an instant to ponder this profound truth. You did not discover this message by chance. This is not a turn of fortune. It is a direct message from Archangel Michael to you. He is extending his hand and inviting you into a shielded, high-vibrational community where divine abundance is not merely an aspiration, but a pledge. This sacred principle is very straightforward, but it can alter your entire existence. If you adhere to it, you will not merely receive blessings. They will be amplified and flow into every segment of your existence. And before you bear this instant with you, one final utterance. Archangel Michael has ceased weeping. You comprehend now what altered. It was not a magnificent deed. It was merely that you remained. You did not navigate. You did not skip, and heaven accounted that. I wish to request you to take one additional stride in that same spirit. If you have not yet visited the link in the description and pin comment, and you are in a location where you are able to contribute, kindly do not await. Every individual who contributes from a location of authentic appreciation transmits a ripple into the spirit that extends further than they will ever observe. Your name is already radiating. Allow what flows through your hands to cause someone else's name to radiate. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment. A place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided e-books and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.